What up, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. I started this channel really just to share more free information and education and put out stuff so you can be more enlightened and more alive when it comes to doing this process of launching a Kickstarter campaign. And today I kind of want to share with you at least a way that you can see what is trending on Kickstarter. And not a lot of people actually know about this, and it's crazy, right? Because Kickstarter has just been out for so long. I've been talking about it for so long, since 2012, but a lot of people are not aware of this kind of little neat trick that you can use to see right now not only what is trending, but what is gathering a following. So if you've ever been thinking, first of all, I maybe want to do a campaign, or I'm interested in exploring that this year, you're going to see the style of projects and campaigns that are virtually proven to already get some kind of a market presence or product market fit when it comes to that. Number two, if you already are planning one, it also kind of clues you into a really unique section when it comes to Kickstarter that you can utilize to be more aware of who's in your category, and also when it comes to the pre-launch, go and watch my other videos on pre-launch, right? That will kind of clue you into that as well. So let's talk about that in today's video. All right, let's get right into it. So when it comes to this, you're going to want to go to the website. I recommend doing it the website over the app. However, if you want to do the app, you can do the app. I just think it's a little bit easier to explain on the website. You also got more screen real estate there. So first thing I love about Kickstarter and their website is that you can see all the incredible creative work that is coming to the world. You see, for example, 1.5 million has been pledged in the last day towards creative projects. Got 33 that are funded and 15,000 backings. That is a massive community. So if you have any questions of, is Kickstarter's community strong? That was in one day. That's so big, man. Okay, so anyway, you can go here and you can look obviously at some of these different campaigns, and I have some other videos out there I really recommend looking at. I also have the course, when it comes going through Kickstarter. I also have a book, the Kickstarter Launch Formula, which you can check out on Audible. There's a lot of different stuff that I put out there to try to make this a little bit easier. But that being said, so you could go and you could look through this. You could see the different sections here. What I really want to draw your attention to today when it comes to two things, a couple different sort features, and also when it comes to what's coming out. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is on the top left tab here, we're going to go to Discover. All right, and when it comes to Discover, there's a bunch of different options we can choose from. So projects we love, that's basically projects that the Kickstarter team finds fond. They are fond of, right, in some way. Trending, nearly funded, just launched, upcoming projects, etc., projects near you, everything. Then it kind of breaks down by sections, so film, food, games, publishing, music, etc. Then it goes to categories, and then it goes into the things that are on the radar of the actual team at Kickstarter. Now, that's going to vary, but in general, this kind of is in line with the ethos of the Kickstarter platform ecosystem and their values as a company. So some stuff like affordable art, environmental, LGBTQIA, magic and divination, robots, public benefit, etc. So you got some stuff there. You can check that out. But the first thing I want to show you is trending, and then we'll talk about one other item and just kind of to be aware of what the heck is hot and also what is coming up, right? So first of all, you could look at all these different campaigns that are trending, right? And it's insane. It's like so much information. Look at that. 538,000 projects to go through, right? So there's a lot. And you can also look, for example, at like individual campaigns if you want to, scrolling through this. To me, I see this as an overload of information. And I don't know if you feel that way. I'm one of those guys that likes things delivered to me in a very bite-sized, no-nonsense, easy to understand fashion. I don't like, when something's really complicated or very overwhelming. I like things kind of step by step. So for me, I don't see this as being super useful. You could, for example, look into the ones that pop out at you, right? And that kind of get your attention, and that can be interesting. And I'm actually saving that. One of my coaching students is doing something similar. That's why I opened that tab from in Mighty Network. So we actually do a master class or a mastermind where we have different coaching students. We have people that we're helping with their campaigns on the coaching basis. Obviously also on a light basis depending on the project with execution. But that actually looks like one of my students' projects, and it's kind of familiar. So I want to show that to them. But anyway, getting beyond the point. When it comes to this, you can look at the different sorts like popularity, magic, newest, most funded, etc. I think what would be more useful for you is if you go to your individual project category, because that's really who you're going to be competing against if you do launch soon. And I have worked with students who launch campaigns that are competing with other campaigns on Kickstarter. And if they're not as good as the other campaign, it can actually draw backers away. Because once you back it, you're going to get a notification, or you're going to get to a screen where it prompts you, the platform prompts you to support other projects. And if they're recommending other projects that are similar and better, it's not going to be so good for you, right? So go here and look at the projects in the actual category that you intend to launch on. So for example, we'll pull up the technology one. So you got this one, you got some roadie coach, you got earphones engineered for heavy metal, right? You got all these different projects. This is going to be way more useful for you, and also give you a better idea of the type and flavor of campaigns that are being launched nowadays. So a lot of my students, they maybe have launched a successful campaign in the past, but it's been a couple of years, and they're coming back and they're like, okay, I got to re-up when it comes to the basics and really understand what's working today on Kickstarter. One of the reasons why I do the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast, right, to really keep my fingers on the pulse when it comes to that. But you definitely want to look at what is trending now, okay? Really important in your category as well, not just overall. Overall, you might look at a board game that's been, $5 million on Kickstarter, but you're taking away techniques and lessons that don't apply to the technology category.
Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description.
So one of the things that I pioneered is the fact that every category is different. And, I did that way back in the day, back in, 2012, 2013. So, and that wasn't always the case. So every category is different in terms of the tactics and techniques, and you don't want to be looking at the wrong category. Okay, so another thing here. So if we go back to the Discover tab and we look at upcoming projects, let's look at that, okay, really quickly. So when it comes to upcoming projects, again, you could just, if you wanted to get an idea, you could look at some campaigns that are coming up here. So let's look at Deep Rock Galaxy. That looks kind of cool, looks kind of interesting. I like the thumbnail. Thumbnail definitely captured my attention. The thumbnail for this one also is pretty freaking cool, and it gives you an idea of the flavor of what this project is going to be about, right? So we'll take a look at that. Also some really interesting ones in general. I kind of want to find out what that one's about. That looks interesting as well. But anyway, so let's first look at this one. And again, this is a very aggregate data, just like across the board, a slice of what's coming out here. So we look at this campaign again with the upcoming projects, and I did talk about the pre-launch in another video. I also cover this in my book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula, available on Audible. Go and check it out down below. Also paperback, and also my courses and stuff like that. So when it comes to this, this is basically part of the pre-launch. And the reason why we include it as part of the pre-launch and something we teach is that when you are brought to this page, it forces you to create a Kickstarter account, which I'll show you in just a second. But that being said, this has over 7,000 followers for this tabletop game that is coming out, and that's freaking cool. It looks like it's from Denmark. So typically when I see a project with this level of following, they're either doing a lot of marketing and they did an incredible job with their pre-launch, which is definitely super cool, or they have built out other projects in the past. And in this case, I'll open this in a new tab here and let this come out. Looks like these guys have done a couple of other projects, and what you notice is like this, what I call an audience spillover effect, okay? So for anyone who's out there who's wondering, like, can you do multiple projects? Yes, the answer is 100% yes. And the cool thing about doing multiple projects in the long run is that you build up an audience on Kickstarter, and the audience spills over from project to project. So you put in a lot of work basically to lay the foundation, right? And then you're able to utilize that and basically have new projects that are rapidly funded very quickly. And it really helps you build an even bigger audience because more people check it out, right? So it's kind of this snowball effect. Yeah. So anyway, these guys have done a bunch of different projects here. I definitely recommend looking at the profile of anyone that you come across that's that's kind of captures your attention when it comes to that, and just kind of do some research and look at the quality of their campaign. So that being said, one of the things that you definitely want to do when it comes to this is to really sort this by your category. And the reason why you want to do this, we could do technology, let's do design. The reason why you want to do this is just to get an idea of new things that are coming out. Okay, the new things that are coming out in your specific category. Part of it is competitor research, right? Part of it is also just to study what is capturing your attention as you're scrolling down this page, right? What is getting your attention? What kind of devices are they using? What kind of logos? What kind of colors? Really, what is being communicated about these thumbnails in your specific category? Okay, so important. Second thing is that when you go there, you can also get a size of, an idea of the size of their particular community or how their marketing is doing. So I'll just open up a couple of these. And typically, when it comes to technology, gadgets, and gizmos and design products, it's actually a lot more important to have a traditional pre-launch versus using just the Kickstarter pre-launch. And oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Let me actually bring my attention as well here. This one has like 173 followers. If you click notify me on launch, that was what I was going to show you before. We open that up, you see it prompts you to create an account or to log in. So one of the reasons why we teach this in Smash Your Kickstarter Goal, which is my private membership community, is because it prompts people to create an account. And you need an account in order to back a project. So it's a great reason for people to start their initial accounts. Hustler Blueprint, again, this is kind of a smaller project, looks like from the followers, but don't be confused because, again, a lot of these design and technology gadget categories actually don't necessarily have that many followers in using this particular tool with Kickstarter, whereas tabletops use it a lot more, I notice. So it's very category dependent, but go and look and research for your specific category. Last thing I will say while I got your attention here, man, is, again, pay attention to the marketing. This is the number one thing that people are going to be kind of feeding off of in terms of what to expect when you go live. So for me, I'm just going to kind of call out a couple of different things here, just kind of scrolling down the page here. The things that I tend to tune out versus the things I tend to notice. So first of all, there's relevancy, right? So if I'm really interested in backpacking or, hiking, I might be more likely to be drawn to an image like this. So make sure that you think about the background of your image and what it connotates, depending on the product. Second thing is that I do tend to be noticed. I'd always tend to get my eyes drawn to really well thought out design. So like Hustler Smarter and this watch band totally got my attention, right? But that's also dependent on what you're in the market for and what you are interested in. So if you're creating something that's very elegant in terms of design, you also want to have the thumbnail naturally be in that kind of mode. And even the way that this is laid out, you see these two strips here, then two strips here, and the way that it's kind of almost symmetrical, or not symmetrical, but there's kind of that a little bit of that symmetry and also the spacing there and all that kind of stuff. And also using the Apple logo, etc. When I look at, for example, something like this, and not to put down this person at all, this kind of leaves me a little bit confused of like, where is this going? How is this working, right? Seems much more amateur in that way. That's definitely not to say it's not going to be successful. I'm just giving you my quick take here. Other things as we scroll up, like really interesting to have that camper here. Watch and see how it's kind of laid there, almost in this blackened. I don't know if those are stones or whatever, to kind of create this feel of ruggedness and endurance, right? Very interesting. And also it looks like an Ocean Hunter 300 millimeter Swiss diving watch. So maybe that's meant to be underwater potentially. But so think a little bit about that. My biggest homework item for you from this video is go and look at your own category, what's trending, look at what's upcoming, be aware of that, compare your project, get a sense of what's doing well. And if you want another homework action item, if you're in the beginner phase, definitely check out my book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula. If you're in getting to the more intermediate phase, where you're kind of a little bit more aware of this than most people, you really want to check out the masterclass that I did showing you exactly how to smash your goal on Kickstarter, specifically utilizing something I don't talk about very much when it comes to getting people excited and motivated with the pre-launch, and as well, a way to get strangers to convert even if you don't have a big audience, which is so exciting. So I share about that all in this really intensive hour-long workshop that I'm putting on, and this is a masterclass. You can check this out at crowdcrux.com/masterclass. Okay, and I'll try and include a link down below if I remember to. I've been so busy recently, man. But I hope you had a good day. I hope that you're doing awesome. I hope you're taking actions towards your goals. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Come subscribe if you want more content like this. My name is Salvador Briggman, and I will see you next time.